Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. About to start in a few seconds. I just had to make sure everything is good. Gotta make sure everybody can hear me. Shalom, shalom. Trying to make sure the sound is good in the back. Shalom, shalom. Make sure the sound is good. It sounds good to what I hear. Shalom, shalom again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the one true power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. For the ones that might not know, Yahweh is the Most High God, which is his true name. Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahushai is his true name. Rakakadash, in the Paleo Hebrew, is the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the elder prophets who rule the world through the Spirit, teaching the Most High's ministry. Lord willing, the Spirit can continue to be upon them to endure and to be sincere. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect that is scattered four corners of the earth, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, the same Spirit is upon you to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatim that are believers of the Most High's word. Lord willing, you can continue in your lot, being a loving, a silent, and virtuous wife. The title of this lesson is His Angels He Charged with Folly. Now my captain, big brother Yaramayan, he had did a lesson on we are the angels that fell from our first estate, which was a beautiful lesson. I think I was watching the bar go into something and he brought out a verse. And I'm like, wait, hold on, wait a second. And this verse I came across and it said that his angels he charged with folly. And that just lines up with the brother Yarmayan's video when he was showing that we're the angels that fell from our estate. Some people will see that verse and think the angels above, he gave them charge to folly, to wickedness and sin. Nah, the angels on the left, that's just their purpose to be a tempting and a spirit to lie onto us. But the angels above is in white robes, left and right. So let's just deal with the angels he charged with folly, which is really the children of Israel, right? Starting first, let's go to 2 Peter. Try to make this a 1, 2, 3 type of line. 2 Peter chapter 2, I'm going to read verse 4 and 5. It says, "For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell." And this lines up with a Rimlab's video, Apostle Rimlab's video he did about Revelations 20. Multiple people throughout the week was trying to correct the hell doctrine. Hell is not a place under the earth. Earth is really a place of judgment. Slavery is a place of judgment, right? So let's just read it again. "For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved until judgment." What's the change of darkness? The flesh. Yahweh Shema Shai put us in the flesh. That's the chains of darkness. Fighting the battles of the flesh. What do the flesh do? It does things of darkness. That's why the darkness can't comprehend it. Within you, you must move in the spirit. Verse 3, "And spare not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Right? So in the time that those spirits fell away from the Lord, because yes, even the sons of God was laying with women on the earth. People use it as giants or angels. That no, those was the chosen that the Most High ordained to come down in the earth. Which I'm gonna bring out a verse to show um, we were in order with Yahweh Shema Shai before he brought us down here, right? But first, let's go to some precepts. Let's go to Job, the 4th chapter, verse 18. You know, for the ones that know, they know. For the ones that don't, Lord willing, the Spirit is upon you just to hear the word, you know. And if any brothers got precepts, you could drop them on the comment board. I'll try to read them. This is Job chapter 4, verse 18. And it reads, I'll start at 17. It says, shall mortal man be more just than God? Shall a man be more pure than his maker? Behold, he put no trust in his servants. In his angels he charged with folly. Right? Those angels are the mortal men. You know, the Lord not really removed, but our script. Like Samuel always say, the angels above had a script. You had the heavenly angels that had their script where they can't leave their habitat. That's their script. And then the elect, we came just like Yahushua. We're on the earth, but we were really up above. That's why Yahushua said in St. John the 15th chapter to the disciples, you were with me in the beginning. You know, the elect, the ones that sit on the shoulder of Yahushua, they helped make the things that's in the earth. Right? It's all by Yahweh Shema Shai. He ordered it. Yahweh Shai came down here in the flesh, just like we all did. But Yahweh Shai, even in St. John chapter 17, he asked for the Lord to give him back the same glory he had before he came down here. So that's the same glory the children on this side, you know, through the Spirit is desiring. You know, we want that glory. Let me read that again. It says, behold, he put no trust in his servants. Who's the real servants? The prophets, starting with the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, and then so on and so on. And his angels he charged with folly. What? Yeah, we can understand that these angels is dealing with the left side, but he charged. Let's go on. Let's look at it in the NLT before we drift. Job 4:18. In the NLT it says, if God does not trust his own angels, and has charged his messengers with foolishness. The Lord don't trust his angels. He's not talking about the angels above, because they're all in tune with Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. They're in the spirit. They're in tune. Michelangelo, Gabriel. If them angels is in a chariot and they're watching upon the sinful kingdom, they're in alignment with the Lord. You got angels where the men of the Lord probably bow down to him and they're like, no, hold on, I'm your fellow servant. You know? He's talking about us. You know, because we fell away from sin, which Second Ezra, which is beautiful, the 9th chapter, kind of go into that, right? When you go to Job chapter 15, verse 15, I'll start at 14. It says, what is man that he should be clean, and he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous? Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Now we seen servants. Who is the saints? The elect, the children of Israel. Yeah, the heavens are not clean in his sight, right? What heaven is he talking about? Rulership. Even when we go back to David, Solomon, the kings, we were in folly, starting with the kings. We fell in folly with Moses. He was a king. He was a leader. Joshua. It was a lot of death in our nation. You know, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water. Right? We drink iniquity like water. That's what made us fall away from our first estate. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3, because he said his angels he charged with folly. When we even go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, actually, let me go to that first. I believe it's Ecclesiastes 3. Let me make sure. Ecclesiastes 3. I want to show you where he tried all folly. It's a lucky family. I want to make sure I get that verse and keep it on point. A lucky family. Okay. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and I'll start at 14. It says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I commune with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of the spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth in knowledge increaseth in sorrow, because of pain. The things that you notice when you start gaining the wisdom and knowledge and understanding become a pain. But Solomon had more wisdom than anybody, and it was vexation of the spirit. Let alone when you even keep on going, he tried all folly. His angels he charged with folly, right? Um, Chapter 2, verse 1. I said in my heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure. And behold, this is also vanity, right? Enjoying pleasure. I said of laughter, it is mad, and of mirth, what doeth it? I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet uh, acquainteth my heart with wisdom, to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. Right? Solomon tried the folly under the sun. You know what? Let's go to that in the NLTZ. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 1. I said to myself, come on, let's try pleasure. Let's look for the good things in life. But I found that this too was meaningless. So I said, laughter is silly. What what good does it do to seek pleasure? After much thought, I decided to cheer myself with wine. And while still seeking wisdom, I clutched at foolishness. In this way, I tried to experience the only happiness most people find during their brief life in this world. I also tried to find meaning by building huge homes for myself, by planting beautiful vineyards. I made gardens and parks, filling them with all kinds of fruit trees. I built uh, he built a pool to collect the water to irrigate my many flourishing groves. I brought slaves. I bought slaves, both men and women, and other were born into my household. I also owned large herds of flocks, more than any king who had lived in Jerusalem before me. I collected great sums of silver and gold, the treasure of many kings in Providence. I hired wonderful singers, both men and women, and had many beautiful concubines. I had everything a man could desire. So I became greater than all who lived in Jerusalem before me, and my wisdom never failed. Anything I wanted, I would take. I denied myself no pleasure. I even found great pleasure in hard work, a reward for all my labors. But as I looked at everything I had worked so hard for to accomplish, it was all so meaningless. Like chasing the wind, there is nothing really worthwhile anywhere. So I decided to compare wisdom with foolishness and madness. For who can do this better than I, the king? I thought wisdom is better than foolishness, just as light is better than darkness. For the wise can see where they are going, but fools walk in darkness. Yet I saw that the wise and the foolish share the same fate. Both will die. So I said to myself, since I will end up the same as the fool, what's the value of all my wisdom? This is all meaningless. You understand? And the Lord gave the angels charge with folly. Solomon, he even asked the Lord in Chronicles, he asked the Lord, please give me wisdom and understanding. He got that. So imagine us when we start getting the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, you start understanding how weak this flesh is. Brothers is trying to master the law, you're going to still fall into sin. And that's us. His angels he charged with folly. Right? Let's go back to the verse. Let's go back to Job 4 and 18. Let's go see something real quick. So, Job 4 and 18. He said, behold, he put no trust in his servants. In his angels he charged with folly. Oh, Salaki. Let's see what he talking about when he say charge. I just want to make sure. Strong's H 7760. Soon. And second entry. Seem. So you got soom and seem, which to charge. He charged his angels. He charged with folly, right? To put, place, right? Set, appoint, make. To put, set, lay, put, lay upon, right? Set, direct towards, set, ordain, established. He established his angels. He established with folly. You want to see how? Even more. He told Adam not to bite from the tree of life. And of course, he's supposed to dwell with his wife according to knowledge. She wanted to get that knowledge from a serpent who was a man, can go into a nation too. And it came back and delivered it to Adam, and Adam ate that too. Instead of giving her the strong rebuke, he failed, you know? But that was all the Lord wanted us to know folly. He wanted us to know bad and good. That just kills the Jude 1 and 6. That's us leaving our first estate, starting with Adam. We were supposed to be immortal, you know. But as soon as he knows life and death, he knows evil. When we was above, man. See, I didn't want to bring this out now. Should I bring it out now? Nah, let's not bring it out now, because then I don't want it to ruin the setup. So let's stay in the motion. We gonna get back to it. I promise, Lord willing. This is Sirach chapter 39. I just wanted to go to this because everybody has a purpose. And that goes back to what I always keep bringing up about what Samuel Wallace says. And I know multiple brothers say it. It's just, I was with my brother when he said it. It's always in my head. Everybody has a script. This is Sirach chapter 39 in the G&T verse 21. No one should ask why things are as they are. Everything in creation has its purpose. Our purpose was to go off, you know, because our kingdom wasn't set. This is a story that has to be fulfilled for the end time reward. Your glory. Being immortal outside of flying, that's the gift we're going to get if we endure to the end. Never dying ever again. No sin ever again. This side is to no sin in the little that we know of righteousness. But just imagine when we get that glory and we get saved, we're going to know a multitude of glory. Our wisdom is going to be endless. You're not going to, eternity means permanent. So you're going to be learning for decades, years, and time and time. That's why one day in the kingdom is better than 1,000 days in this shithole. You know. So let's get back to these. Let's get back to these scriptures. Let's go to this Jude chapter 1 in verse 6. It says, "In the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own inhabitation," and the angels above don't leave their inhabitation unless the Lord tell them they got to go do something. So this is not talking about them. We left our first estate of the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord was establishing us it back into the land. He removed Adam and Eve, the land of Israel. You know, again, it says the angels was kept not their first estate, but left their own inhabitation. He have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Right? What is that chains of darkness? The flesh. Right? Now that we're in the flesh, I just want to get this sidebar. I think I got it written somewhere in my notes. Right? But I'm gonna just bring it out. You know, this darkness is this flesh, man. You gotta go on a battle. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary the one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." You know, the flesh is weak. Let alone, I'm about to bring out this class. This is the classic, because when you die, you go back up to the Lord, right? This flesh is weak. If this joint can decay, this is a weak flesh. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it." Right? So you got to understand, this flesh is bullshit compared to the glorified body the Most High will give you. This flesh is nowhere compared even an inch close to the spirit within you. You know, this whole flesh is a decaying of flesh. You know, you get old age, you don't got no power, like your mind run a mile a minute. You got to call on the Lord to, you know, we're so weak in this flesh. You know, what is it? Let's see, let's get this other one. This is Hebrews chapter 2 verse 7. "Thou madest him," you know what? Let's read. I'll read from verse 4. It said, "God also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders, and diverse miracles, gifts of the Holy Ghost, according to his own will. For unto the angels have he not put in subject to the world to come, whereof we speak. But one in a certain place testifies, saying, What is man, that thou art mindful of him, or the Son of Man, that thou visiteth him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels." Angels that's up in the heavens above right now, and the angels that's in the earth. Yahushua is second above all. You know, made him lower than the angels that's above, right? "Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hand." You know, Yahushua is over all angels, all creations that Yahweh wanted to be made. Yahushua is. But this man became lower. How did he become lower? Being in this carnal flesh. That's why Yahushua had to endure temptation. You know, he had to look, chapter 4 of Matthew, he was getting tempted by the devil just like we all do. Right? The flesh. Only thing, Yahushua didn't fold under pressure and remove himself from the Lord. Israel, we already handled that. We already fell from our estate because we have blood on our hands, sin, you know, corrupt, bro. So now, this is the verse I wanted to go to just to show you. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 18 to 20. It says, when I wanted to prepare the world before it was made, they that might dwell therein, no one contradict me. Right? Because none of us existed under the sun. But above we existed. And us existing above, we knew righteousness. We didn't know no sin. We knew righteousness. Right? Verse 8:19. For at that time everyone was obedient. But now in this created world, and in the contentious harvest, and in the crucible law, are their morals corrupted. You know, our morals have been corrupted because we put on this flesh. Adam, starting with Eve, they committed a sin against the Lord. They had to get kicked out of the land. Now we all must die. We all must take the penalty of a decayed flesh. We all have to go to the Lord to cleanse ourselves. We all are going to have to come into repenting to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. After the Adam and Eve, we fell from our estate. When we even look at David and Solomon, we're having our kingdom. When you go back to Adam, it was going to initially happen. Because if Adam and Eve fell, Adam was naming the animals. That's power. That's order. You know, we left all of that. We're not even in tune with the animals right now. We're not in tune with nature. When we fell, the earth got defiled. It was always a battle between the righteous and the unrighteous. And it's just through the spirit, when you look at it, is the left-hand side, against the right-hand side. But when you really look at it, the spirit where the Lord is at is set up to be that way. You know, the angels that's on the left-hand side, they're in white robes. Because they're all ordered to do with the Lord. 1 Kings 22, he asked the angels who can persuade Ahab. That was the left-hand side. You know, this is Sirach Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil, life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. You know, and you have to know the left-hand side is watching and observing us. When you go to Matthew chapter, 6 and 21, wherever your heart is, that's where your treasure is. So if we lay in our hearts on sin, wickedness, another man's wife, another man's possession, that's a sin. And you're walking away from what the ordinance of the Lord. But really, if the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai dealing with you, that spirit is going to correct that. You're going to rebuke it. Or the Lord sent somebody else to correct it. We fell from our estate. You know? And this is what the men of the Lord is teaching on the highways and byways, so the true children of Israel can understand. Us coming back to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is coming back to the Lord. We're not fully in our first estate, but this is our first love. The wisdom and knowledge and understanding was our enjoyment, especially in the time of, but when he fully gave us the understanding in Mount Sinai. Then when we had our foundation, we had our land, we asked for a king. When David ordered it, and in Solomon, it was all peace in the land. When we had those kings, that's what we cherished. You know, Hezekiah, when they had Passover, Israel was together. We enjoyed those moments. But then, you seen what happened to Rehoboam. That flesh, he got too much in the flesh. Didn't want to take the counsel from the elders. But it was all destined to happen because his angels he charged with folly. Right? He ordained us with folly. It was bound to happen so that we can know good and bad. Just like the serpent said, you ain't going to die. You're going to know good and bad. He lied about that because we died. But we do know good and bad now. You know? So let's go back to Judith 1 and 6 again. It says, "In the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he have reserved an everlasting chain of darkness unto the judgment of that great day." Right? That chains of darkness is the flesh. The chains of darkness is the flesh. Plague of the mind. Your weight. You can't control your weight. You know, this flesh. It's this flesh, man. This flesh is absorbing the true power. You know. Now let's just get these side, because I wrote them in red. These is side little precepts I got. You know, Lord willing, we can add some sense to it. This is St. John chapter 8, verse 44. You know, St. John chapter 8, verse 44. And it reads, it says, Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your fathers ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak of a lie, he speaketh of his own, and he is a liar and a father of it. Right? You got to think the serpent was a murderer because he knew the initiation that he was pushing on Eve. You know, things, especially on the things that's supposed to be making us to fall, they know our position is supposed to be in righteousness, but they have a task too, and that task was making us fall so things can be fulfilled. And a lot of us, especially like head teachers or just murderers, they fall back into the same case as the serpent. They fall back in the same case as Cain. He killed his brother. Am I my brother's keeper? you know. And when we even go back to Job, that was Satan, that was an adversary. And wasn't he not working for the Lord? He told him, don't touch him, just touch his possessions. Then the next time, put boils on him, touch his flesh, but save him. This is what the Lord was telling Satan in Job chapter 1 verse 2. You go read it. Don't take it for myself. Go read it. Was he not talking to the Lord on the left hand side? It even said the sons of man came in the presence of the Lord. Man, let's go over there, man. Let's see something. Let's go to Job. Which one I want? It says Job chapter 1 verse 6. It says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. The sons of God that's the righteous side of Yahweh Shema Shai. The Satan on the left hand side, the adversary in the spirit aspect, that's the left hand side. Hold on. Let's not take my word for it. Let's let the scriptures speak. This is 1 John chapter 22, starting at verse 19. Wait, let me make sure this is 22, because sometimes I get too amped. Okay, this is 1 Kings chapter 22, starting at 19. This is Micaiah. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord Yahweh. I saw the Lord Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on the right hand and on the left hand. So that means the spirits that controls the left side of the Lord, which would go into covetousness, lavishness, all things that would lead you into sin, and the right side leads you into righteousness, abundance, right growth. Verse 20. And the Lord Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on the other on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also go forth and do so. Angels is on a mission, man. So brothers right now that could be probably teaching a false is an angel that was ordered to whisper in your ear. You know? Let's get this. It's all lining up now. Isaiah 66 and 4. This is Isaiah 66 and 4. The Lord can do it to all of us, men, women, and children. Nobody's exempt. Isaiah 66 and 4. I will also choose their delusion. I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. First, the Lord is dealing with the ones he called servants. If you're a servant, if you acting like a servant, that goes into 2 Timothy chapter 3. Seducers. When you go into the word seducers, it goes into imposters. Right? I'm gonna get the other one in 2 Thessalonians, right? But let me show you something. Let's get in there. That's through the spirit how Apostle Kabar, he was just doing a lesson and he just said the same thing. He was just going into this. He was going into the seducer part. Uh, Salaki family. So okay. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 13. It says, but men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, in deceiving and being deceived. Now, I could go to the etymology of this word, but look at this. I'm going to just read it in NLT. It says, but evil people and impostors will flourish. They will deceive others and will themselves be deceived. God of scripture don't even Satan come as a light. That's an imposter. It could be somebody saying, Yah, how about Hashem Yahushai? Be a whole imposter. Children, men, women, they can be imposters of the ministry. And it said, what? Imposters will flourish. So you got somebody in this truth that's flourishing, but they're imposters. Guess what? He's an angel that left his first estate. I mean, we all did. But now we supposed to be coming back to the true knowledge, back to the true ways. Niggas is still doing that because they have to fulfill their purpose. Right? Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 21. You can't tell me, look, and I just go to the etymology of it. You know, elders heavy on that.
Strong's G 1114. Guys.
Deceiver. Imposter. It says imposter. A wizard. You know, that's what that seducer is. An imposter. It's a lot of our brothers and sisters that's in this thing that are imposters. Because let's get it. 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this God shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So before we came down, we didn't contradict the Lord, right? But the Lord created us up there for the purpose to be down here. As soon as we got down here in this flesh, we got comfortable, we fell away. But it was bound to happen because he charged us with folly. Now we coming in the knowledge, it was predestined for the serpent to do that because the Lord wants us to know the wickedness so that when we get that glory and we're fully abiding with the Lord, we will never sin again. Never want to, never will. You know? So the Lord, just like the serpent, we're going to know good and bad. Right now, we know bad. We know a little of the good. Until you really know who you was, you understand all this, the Lord is going to hit us. You know? So now we got to know where the angels that fell from our first estate. Not no angel that went against the Lord in heaven and tried to take his throne. That shit don't make sense. Why would I follow somebody that allows somebody up in the heavens to come against him? He said in 2nd Esdras when he put us in the earth, now we disobeyed him. So what angel up there in the heavens disobeyed the Lord? I'll wait. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. Outside of 13, it says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. See? You'll have somebody saying, yeah, how about you? And he's a whole imposter. And the light is that he's saying he's a Hebrew Israelite. The light is that he's bringing out scriptures. But if you have good discernment, you'll know, oh, hell no, that's off. Nah, bro. Then you'll start saying hell. You're going to burn forever. The 2/3 won't make it. The MOTB ain't physical. Let's get unity together. Let's build the nation together. No, we're building the tabernacles of David through the elect. Somebody got to be the 2/3. Somebody got to be the elect. The elect is going to want to hear the word, either if they just sitting down on YouTube or if they walk across. Maybe they walk across, they don't listen. They might catch on and hear a verse and be like, man, I got to go search them. And they might go home and search. You know, I'm not observing if the sheep that's watching me and say, oh, if you're doing this, unless they communicate with me. We just got to teach, you know. And I got this other one to show, you know. Hold on, man. Let me just get what I gotta get. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Yahushua made all of this, and he's over all of these powers. We were set up. The Lord set us up to be tried. He set us up to be against principalities, against powers. You see what we just read in 1 Kings 22? Before a man can do something on the earth, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, and the angels, the heavenly host, the heavenly army, they're having counsel on who is doing what. You know? The elect, you got an angel watching over you. The Lord got thousands and thousands of 10,000 angels. They watching, man. They're observing. They're appointed to watch. They're appointed to maneuver you this way. But on the left-hand side, they're still righteous because they're serving Yahweh. That was just their role, to dabble in here. That's their role. You know? We're wrestling against the powers that be above, which is orchestrating the things down here. Get it right. And then the one joint, if you was reading the G&T 1611, where it says, against the rulers of darkness of this world. That's talking about like governors, emperors, kings. They made King James take that, but now if you're enlightened, you're going to understand that these rulers in darkness is the ones that's beyond the Pentagon. We talking about the elites who control financial, military, and religion, education, medical, health. You know, all of that stems from your rulers that you're against. All these rules, these regulations, things that you can do that Babylon let you do, that's all from them. Right? That's what we wrestling. Let's go to the book of Luke. Let's go to the book of Luke 13 and 24. This is Luke 13, verse 24. It says, "Strive to enter in at the strait gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able." You know, because they were swallowed up into this. And they had to play the role of not walking that narrow path. Right? That's why he's telling us, strive to enter the strait gate. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 4:28. Strive for the truth until death. When we came down here, we still were supposed to serve the Lord. But remember, if we were predestined to get it, we are predestined to fall. Ephesians chapter 1. We were predestined to get it. To the elect, they're going to be predestined to get that crown. And if that's the case, we were predestined to fall. His angels he charged with folly. We are predestined. The angels above, let me get it correct. The angel above do not sin. They don't. They do exactly what Yahweh Shemel Shai tell them to do. You know? And then this goes back to the lesson I did earlier. I'm going to read it in the NLT. I'm going to just read it through instead of, I'm going to just read it all the way through. Not going, This is First Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25 to 27. And I'm going to read it in NLT. Because now, I showed you that we're the angels. Now that when we come back in this thing, we try to move away from folly. And now the Lord put righteous teachers and he appointed them to teach the 100% doctrine. Now we go to Second Ezra 14. He said, give some of this. I'm gonna give you some of this that you can make public for the ones that's worthy and not worthy, and then I'm gonna give you these wise scriptures only for wise people. So some of these little mysteries is only for wise people. So I'm gonna start here. Um, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person get a prize? So one run to win. That's why 2/3 gotta die. The 1/3 is gonna make it. That's why we have to work hard to be that one, right? It says all athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for eternal prize. For the 2/3, they're working for something that will fade away. That's why the Lord said, heaven and earth will pass away, but my word will be forever. So niggas is working for something that fade away. If you're pursuing to be of that number, you're working for an eternal prize, something that's permanent. So I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadow boxing. The Lord, he said, he called you for a purpose. So that's why every step you have to know in this truth is for a purpose. It says, I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might disqualify, right? Because you might get taken out of this. You might not want to do this no more. It's all Yahweh Shem Shai. You want to hope that Yahweh Shem Shai is using you on the right side instead of the left side, right? Okay, I got another one, but I got to read it in the KJV and the NLT. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and just verse 5. The KJV, it says, if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. In the NLT, it says, and athletes cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules. Let me say it again. An athlete cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules, right? And hard-working farmers should be the first to enjoy the fruit of their labors, right? So this is why we have to work hard. The first fruits that's gonna enjoy their labors is the elect of the elect, starting with the 144,000. You know, is what it says. Some to fullness to the full, and the emptiness to the empty. The 2/3 is empty. The elect is trying to be full, so they're gonna be filled to fullness. Athletes cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules. And hard-working farmer should be the first to enjoy the fruit of his labor. Work or think about that, man. I'm laboring for the Lord. Labor for the Lord, right? You gotta press towards the mark, the calling that Yahweh Shemashai called you for. He said that was the last one with the KJV and the NLT, but we got a little slippery slope. We got Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, and then drop it down to verse 4. And I'm gonna read them in the KJ and the NLT because we want to leave to right. So Hebrews 1 KJV. Therefore, seeing we also compass about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. You see, that's crazy to the spirit. This goes with the video I just did on the 716 page. But reading the NLT, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us. Let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. So this shows you the Lord set this before us. You know, he set folly in front of us. He set righteous in front of us. But we must run the race. Stop trying to get comfortable. We got racing to do. You got to get your health right. You got to get your mind right so that you can get up and go read and talk about the Lord. Just because you think, oh, I got the breakdown, I got it, and then you stop reading. you stop teaching or something, and you just think that that's good. You want to make your call and election sure. It's brothers that think they're gonna be 144,000 and they not doing nothing for the ministry. Half the time they are, oh, I forgot this precept, but I know it say this somewhere. You're not even trying to sharpen your sword and read. Oh, you don't even deserve to be the elect, right? Because the top elect is putting their hands on a plow, you know. But dropping down to verse 4, KJV first, it says, "Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, strive against it." In the NLT, after all, you have not yet given your lives in your struggle against sin, right? You have not yet given your lives in your struggle against sin, right? How we give our life coming in this truth, but you give your life like Romans chapter 12. You lay yourself down like a living sacrifice for this truth. Don't be conformed to this world. When you slip up, you try to repent, rebuke that. Hurry, because those spirits leave and they try to come back with 7 more spirits if you're entertaining it. You got to rebuke it. And then this is my last verse, and I'll close it. Right? This is Psalms 104. Right? And this is how you know we got the power to rebuke that spirit. Now that we're confirmed in what we just read and what we heard, Psalms 104 verse 4, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. We're both of those in one. Even the angels above, they're not in the flesh, but yes, they're angels. That means they're spirits, and they're ministering. Let alone, we seen in First Kings, wasn't he not ministering to Ahab's prophets to prophesy the lie? That was ministering. And what are we doing? We're in the flesh, just like how Yahushua was. And we were angels. We're still angels, but not until the Lord re-change us and reform us back to the way that we was. Right? But we were angels, you know? Just like the ones above, we were angels. Got brought down under here and put into this flesh. His ministers a flame of fire. Ain't the children of Israel on the earth the ministers of the earth, the prophet, the apostles, the evangelists of the earth? The men of the Lord, ain't they not ministers? Yes. And they're a flame of fire because we reflect off of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh is a what is it? Yahushai is a fire. Let me just get that because I just said it. It's in Exodus. It's, I mean, you got one in Exodus, but I think this is the one I wanted. Let me make sure I ain't bugging. I'm probably thinking of something else. This is Hebrews 12 and 29. For our God is a consuming fire. And look at you, you're a flame of fire. And that contradict the hell doctrine, because how can a fire burn out a fire? But outside of that, we're the angels he charged in folly. Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, we stick to the point. Lord willing, this encourage you to be more trying to cleave to your power. We fucked up big time. And Lord willing, we can take the accountability. But usually you'll see you take accountability by your actions. I'm not better than you, and I do not strive to be better than you. I strive to be better than the man that you see on the camera. Till next time, Lord willing. Shalom, y'all speak.